What is good people? You are now listening to another episode of A Wicked Good Time with Danny Foxworth. I am your humble narrator, Danny Foxworth, and once again, we're going to sniff some candles and talk about some things. So, first order of affairs, we had a snowfall down here in the low country this past week. Well, I mean, pretty much everybody in the South got hit with a snowstorm, but, you know, it was January 3rd of 2018. It was the last time that we really got a significant snowfall. I think we got like 6 inches of snow. And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, you know what? We're about due for another snowstorm. And sure enough, last Tuesday, it came. It started off as sleet and freezing rain, and then it progressed to a full-on flurries by about 8:30, 9 o'clock. And man, it's always cool to see, because I live amongst Corner, South Carolina, for those that don't know. That's down in the Charleston area. It snows in my neck of the woods like maybe once every 6 or 7 years. So, you know, just getting that childlike wonderment, seeing the snow flurries fall, and then when you wake up the next morning and see the whole neighborhood is just completely blanketed in snow, that was really cool. I went out into my parents' backyard and just like dig some cartwheels and whatnot, man. Just reconnected with my inner child. That was cool. Having said that, those temperatures were brutal. Oh my gosh. It's like the highs for the rest of the week really didn't make it above freezing. And then the lows, especially on, I believe it was Wednesday night, it got down in the teens. It was, all of y'all that live up north and live in the Midwest, I don't know how y'all do it. I'm just not built for cold weather. But regardless, it was a really cool time. And, you know, the last of the snow actually finally melted yesterday, which was Monday. So it lasted almost a week. And now we're flirting with 70-degree temperatures for the remainder of this weekend, which I'm extremely thankful about that, because, again, cold weather, me and cold weather do not go together. We like oil and water. And I think we probably got about 3.5 to 4 inches of snow this go round. So we got a pretty significant amount. I could not make it to work a couple of days, because once that snow fell and the high temperatures were hovering right at or below freezing, it made the roads really hard to navigate. And especially where I live, the snow trucks really weren't a priority for the roadways in my neighborhood, because there's a lot of secondary roads. So there was still a lot of ice, hence the reason why I couldn't make it to work for a couple of days after the snowstorm. But things are back to normal. And now we're going to get into some candles. So the first candle that I'm going to do a review of, this one is MWG, which is short for Makers of Wax Goods. I bought both of these candles over the weekend. This one is campfire scented. So the notes are smoked oak, ambered hickory, smooth maple, honeyed vanilla, black patchouli, sweet frankincense, and opulent myrrh. I tell you what, they got a real good way of describing the ingredients of this scent. It just make it sound real sexy. Smoked oak, ambered hickory, smooth maple, honey vanilla, black patchouli, sweet frankincense, and opulent myrrh. So this one has no top, one wick, and take a sniff and see what we come up with. A little nose test. So, you know what? This one smells almost similar to the tobacco and vanilla scent which is one of my favorite scents. So that still gets a passing grade for me, just because the notes are very reminiscent of that tobacco and vanilla. I get the smoked oak. I definitely get the sweet frankincense. I think the smoked oak and the sweet frankincense are the two more notable notes in the scent of this. But I don't know why, for some reason, it just smells eerily reminiscent of the tobacco and vanilla scented candle, which I'm a fan of. But that one gets a passing grade for me. And so now I got to give a appreciation for a snack that I wasn't privy to until summer of last year. So shout out to my cousin Kim Mazik. She was actually the one that introduced me to this snack. She had her and her husband Melvin had a big get together at their house with the family. And I'm sitting at the dinner table. Well, we just finished eating. We're just snacking on stuff. And then she walks around with this bag of Dots pretzels. And she says, Danny, you have got to try these pretzels. And I seen them in the store, but I never really had the mind to give them a try. And man, she was like, I'm telling you, I'm warning you in advance. These are addictive. And buddy, when I crunched that first handful of pretzels, I completely understand what she was talking about. It's like I saw the light. I completely saw the light. That first bite, I was like, man, it's just perfectly seasoned. It's like some kind of special seasoning, but the butteriness of the pretzels is what really was the deciding factor in me becoming a huge fan of these pretzels. So Kim, thank you. You've introduced me to a brand new habit now. After we left that function, I went straight to the grocery store and I bought, I kid you not, I bought like 3 bags of those Dots pretzels. I need a sponsorship, Dots pretzels. Y'all are way too good for people to not know about the goodness of Dots pretzels. That first time biting into it, it's almost like the first time a woman from New Orleans just walked up to me and said, baby, in my ear. I just want everybody to experience a moment like that at least once in their life. Well, while we're on the subject of food, we're going to get to our next candle. So the next candle is from Goodies by DW Home. This one is the Cola scented candle. I dig this. I like the presentation of it because it's just like it's shaped just like the soda can or pop, depending on what part of the country you're from. Cola, always fresh, original, and refreshing. So taking a look at this one. This one also has 1 wick. Give it the good old nose test. So, you know what? This doesn't smell like cola to me at all. But what it does smell like, it smells exactly like a Twizzler to me for some reason. It's wild. It smells almost damn near identical to a Twizzler. And you know what? This one gets a passing grade from me as well because I like Twizzlers. Twizzlers are a very underrated candy. It's been a long time since I had Twizzlers. I might get some tomorrow just for old time's sake. Now, on the scale of 1 to piss my dad off, this one is a 1. I don't think Dad is going to be up in arms if I light this candle when he pays me a visit. I don't think he's going to be like, what you got going on in the kitchen? So, yeah, this one also gets a passing grade from me as well. And the last thing I want to talk about is, you reaching a milestone in your life and you reach a certain age. And, if you're on social media, you see like younger black men referring to people as Unc and OG. But it just hits different when somebody addresses you as that in real life. And at first, this was like August or September of last year. And shout out to the good brother Sean, a.k.a. Orangeburg Slim. I had him on since we last spoke. Check that episode out if you haven't. We actually met for the first time up in Columbia at a record pop-up courtesy of the homie Priest Jacobs. And he was like, yo, what's up, OG? I'm like, man. I was like, at first, it felt funny because, I've never been referred to as OG or as Unc before. But at the same time, I'm thinking to myself, you know what? There's a lot of people that haven't lived long enough to make it to that status. And I should be thankful that I've lived long enough to make it to that status because, again, a lot of people haven't. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to lean into this because, dang it, that's a sign. That's like a sign of respect to me. And that's not lost on me. So I was like, I'm going to embrace this OG role now. So, again, it's just wild, but it's also a good feeling knowing that you have the respect of younger black men like that. So, Sean, Orangeburg Slim, big shout out to you, man. You were doing some incredible things, and I got to get you back on for since we last spoke. So I'm gonna reach back out to you soon. And with that, it's been another episode of A Wicked Good Time. Make sure you like, download, and subscribe to A Wicked Good Time. Tell a friend and tell a friend. This is a dude that he sniffs candles and he rants about the Carolina Panthers, and I think you'd be interested in it. subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can find my YouTube channel at Danny Foxworth 843. There you can find videos for every episode of this podcast, as well as my baseball podcast, At the Plate with Danny Foxworth, my other podcast, Since We Last Spoke with Danny Foxworth, and my fourth podcast, which is Growing Up Low Country with Liz and Danny. And I greatly appreciate all of you for tuning in and listening. Man, all my podcasts combined recently made it to 10,000 total downloads. 10K. I could not have done it without y'all. And it's such a truly humbling experience. It's truly humbling to see that people are really tuned into what you're doing. You know, thoughts become things. And, you know, I'm appreciative of each and every one of you. That being said, again, this has been another episode of A Wicked Good Time with Danny Foxworth. And until next time, y'all be good. Keep it lit.